What's up? What's up? Cut from a Different Club podcast. Shout out to my boy Dio. We at MJ Exclusive Suits and Tuxedos. And right now, got a young lady. She out here doing her thing, telling her story. And I think she got a lot to say. So I want to bring on Miss Boss Lady. What's up? What's up?
What's up? Thank you, thank you, thank you. My name is TASKIA Shawnette Goodwin. I am here to let you know about me, how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'm let you know how it led me to the penitentiary. I was born in Horry County to the late Florida Davis Goodwin and Wade Allen Goodwin. At the age of 4, my mom died, and it was me, my sister, my brother. We all got separated. So we lived in separate homes. My sister and my brother, my baby sister and my brother next to me, they live here in Holly Hill. And my baby brother and I, we live in Bowman. We was raised by aunts. So my great aunt is the one that I call my mama now.
Okay.
So I was raised up in the church, doing good, went to school, graduated from high school, got pregnant at the age of 17. I graduated in 94. I had my baby. Then I started college, Orangeburg Calhoun Technical College, where I majored in criminal justice. I wanted to be a paralegal.
Wow.
So after I had my baby and went to school in 96, my friends, they like, come to North Carolina. I don't know if y'all ever heard of a town called Monterey, North Carolina, home of Andy Griffith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mayberry.
Yeah, Mayberry. So I went there, got introduced to the streets, you know, that fast life, and I started making money. I loved it. So then I caught my first charge. It was a misdemeanor.
How old you was then?
I was like 20.
Oh,
and at that age, like getting the money didn't mean nothing to me. I was like living that life.
right.
I had my own place, own car. I got it on my own. So then when I got that charge, I moved back to South Carolina. That's when I got pregnant with my second child in 98.
Wow.
So then after that, 2000, I moved back to Monterey because I wanted that money. I didn't want to work. I wanted that money. So then I was just like doing it up, taking trips, you know, just exploring, buying cars. I could go on the lot, get anything I want, rent a place, get any car I want.
Right.
Then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Then I caught my second charge. I like, oh, it ain't nothing. But it's not good when the police kick your door and you got 2 little kids and the guns pointed on them and you got red beams at your head. So I like, I'm going to give it up. So then I moved back to South Carolina in 2001. That's when I had my third child.
Oh, wow.
So then I had my fourth child. I stayed down here to like 2005.
Okay.
Then I like, this ain't for me. It's too slow.
Yeah.
I did the 9 to 5. I just couldn't do it. So I packed up everything. Packed up my kids and left furniture and everything behind. I just left, went back to North Carolina and started living that fast life again. It's like, it's not cool.
So from your perspective, like what made you go to the streets anyways? Like,
because I seen how other people was making that money, getting that money. They can buy what they want to buy, do what they want to do, and, you know, take trips whenever you want to take trips.
yeah.
And I wanted the best for my kids, but that was the wrong way of giving them the best.
Right.
The drug money.
Yeah.
Because all money ain't good money, especially when I didn't only put my life in danger, I was putting my kids' life in danger too.
Yeah. So we back. So how did your like it affect the children, like your children's lives, when you was going through all that, what you was going through?
Like I separate them, like my young Kalana for a while. Then I kept my youngest son and my oldest son with me, and it's like it affected them a lot because they were separated from each other. And then my sons, they learned a lot about the game, what I was doing. Like I said, in 2005, I separated them. Then I went back to North Carolina, and I got introduced to the Kingpin of the operation. And he like, I'm gonna show you how to make more money, thousands and thousands and of money. He like, I need you to take these trips for me. You be the runner. You pick it up, bring it back, and I give you money. So it's like I'm taking my kids, my two sons, on the road with me. I'm leaving from North Carolina to Virginia, from Virginia to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Texas. I'm meeting all these people with my kids. So then I like it was enough. So I brought all my kids to South Carolina so I could get in the street game harder. So that's when I started meeting the cartels.
Oh,
And,
wow.
you know, they are the big operation. And my first time meeting them, I was like nervous because you have to go through so many different steps to get to the main man.
Yeah.
So as I entered in there, it was a woman. And then what scared me, I had to strip naked.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, strip all my clothes off. They had to search me, make sure I didn't have no wires. So I had to go through another step. It was a middleman. So then after that, they asked questions, this and that, who I'm connected to or whatever. Make sure I wasn't no snitch or nothing.
Yeah.
So then I got to the big man. So there was a big duffel bag. And when I opened it up, it was like 4 bricks of cocaine that I
wow.
had to travel back to North Carolina with. So me, I'm dressing up as a school teacher, looking sophisticated on the highway, driving big body trucks, coming back, cruising. So once I get that back to the main man, to the kingpin, so boom, I get a duffel bag. I hand him the duffel bag, he hands me the duffel bag, and when I opened it, I got like 20 stacks, which was mine. So, I thought I was on top of the world. They're easy money. So then I'm going to get my kids, like, we about to take trips. Like, nothing in the world. Whatever y'all want, y'all can have it. So
Wow.
then in 2006, here goes me, laying in my house. A knock on the door. I like, ain't nothing. They kick the door in. Next time, look, they got red beamers on my head like, you move, we kill.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I surrender. Like, where the drugs at? Where the drugs at? I don't have no drugs. So they search my house up and down. They never find drugs. I said, they like, okay, Miss Goodwin, you think you slick. We're going to let you go, but we're going to get you. We're going to get you one day. I like, whatever. I just laugh at them. They like, oh, you think it's funny? I like, yeah, it's funny. So, here go me again. Get a call from the big dog. So he like, I need you to make a run to New York this time. So it was me and 2 more females. We went to New York. We made it there, got the package, coming back on 95. We get stopped. I like, oh my God, we're going to jail this time. But I don't know, it was just something with us. We didn't get caught that time. So as soon as I get back to North Carolina, my house is surrounded by cops.
Oh, wow.
They're like, Miss Goodwin, where the drugs at? We just know you've been in North Carolina. You just went to New York. I like, nah, what are you talking about? They're like, where's the drugs? I like, I don't have the drugs. I don't know what y'all talking about. I didn't been in New York. They're like, yes, you do. Yes, you have. I like, no, I didn't. So they're like, okay, we're going to get you. You think you slick, we're going to get you.
Man.
So I was like, brush it off. Like, they can't catch me. I'm too far in the game.
Wow.
So then in 2007, they go, my door get kicked in again.
Wow.
They never find it. Every time they would kick in my door, they never find drugs. Never. I say, you know what? I'm going to get a 9 to 5. I'm tired of selling drugs. I'm tired of kicking in my door. It's time for me to be a mother to my kids. Go get my kids. So I went back, get my kids, came back, started selling drugs, got a 9 to 5, working on the highway, doing construction work and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it was all right for 2008, 2009, 2010. That's when I met my husband, another drug dealer.
Wow.
It seemed like I was attracted to nothing but drug dealers.
Yeah.
So I met him in 2010. We had my kids who was living in North Carolina, and he was like, you know what? We need to move. I'm going to upgrade you. I said, what you mean upgrade me? I got everything I ever wanted. I bought it myself. He like, no, we're going to move to Virginia. I like, cool, wow, let's move to Virginia. So we moved to Virginia in 2010. We bought a house, everything. So got married in 2011.
Wow.
Mind you, 2011, he went to prison, the beginning.
Oh, wow.
So then, December the 5th, 2011, that's when it all broke down to me. December the 5th, I remember I put my kids on the bus. It was my oldest son and my baby boy, because my youngest daughter was back here in Holly Hill, and my oldest daughter was home. She already graduated from school. So the police, I put them on the bus, then I got back in the bed. Then my phone rang and my cousin like, can you do my hair? Like, yeah, I did hair and stuff like that too. So then I hear boom on the door, like boom, 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 boom. I like, man, stop playing. I thought it was one of my homeboys. I like the key under the mat. And I hear boom, boom again. And they're like, boom, boom, boom. I like, stop playing, just come in the house. The next day I like, let me see what you want. Then when I opened the door, there was nothing but red beamers on me. They threw me down on the porch. They like, we're such and such and such. I like, I don't know. They like, we're such and such. I like, I don't know. They like, TASKIA, Shanette Goodwin. At this time, I was McNeil. They called me. Then they said, TASKIA, Shanette Goodwin, McNeil. We're such and such. I like, I don't know. They like, who's in the house with you? I like, it's my daughter, my oldest daughter. So they put me in handcuffs. Then they put her in handcuffs. I'm like, could you please take those cuffs off my daughter? They like, can we search your house? I say, for what? They like, because we need to search your house. I said, do you have a search warrant? Mind you, was the ATF. It was just so many cops I never seen. The news people, everybody was out there. Like, I committed murder or something. Then they like, we come to lock you up. I said, lock me up for what? I didn't do nothing. So I like, let me see what y'all locking me up for. They like, you'll see when you get downtown. So this time, they really tore my house up. Virginia, the state troopers, everybody tore my house inside out like you couldn't even recognize it. So I get down to the police station. This happened in Patrick County, Virginia. Yeah. So I get there. I'm surrounded by all these white people, white men. Yeah. And they're like, we're going to use you as an example. I like, what? They're like, you a cartel. I like, no. They're like, you a part of the operation. You the ringleader. I like, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? I don't sell drugs. I work. They're like, yeah, North Carolina couldn't get you, but we're going to get you and we make sure you don't see the day of light. I like, oh, do what y'all got to do. So they interrogate me for hours and hours and hours and hours. Hours and hours. Damn. So then they like, I like, well, can I use the phone? They're like, no. I like, I do get a phone call. He like, no. So I like, could I get a bond? He like, you'll go to the master's office. So I went to the master's office. He like, before I could say anything, he like, bond denied. I like, okay. Wow. I like, all right. So then they dressed me out, went in the back, and when that door shut, I'm like, oh, this is serious. They denied my bond. So they like, well, in 3 days you can go back for another bond hearing. I like, okay. So the third day, I went for a bond hearing. The same match, they denied. I like, oh, okay. They like, now you got to get a lawyer. I like, okay. So I called one of my homeboys, because he's from Virginia. I said, so what can I do? Do I need to get a lawyer to get a bond? He like, yeah. So I called home. I like, can y'all get me a lawyer? Get me a lawyer. They're like, oh, you don't need no lawyer. You don't need no lawyer. You're not from Virginia. They gonna give you a bond. I said, okay. This time I went in front of a judge. He denied my bond. He said, no, you're high risk. You from South Carolina, and that's where all the drugs coming from. And you run the biggest operation. I'm like, me? No, not me. So I went back, third bond, denied. So they gave me a lawyer, a court-appointed lawyer. And my homeboy like, that's not gonna work. Because let me tell you, you're black, it's Virginia, a Commonwealth. And you come in their state selling drugs. He like, you're gonna need to pay a lawyer. So I'm like, okay, I call my family again. I like, I need a lawyer. Oh, you don't need no lawyer. You don't need a lawyer. This your first time in Virginia. Or they gonna let you go. It didn't work like that. So let me tell you, I got a lawyer. Went for my first appearance. And they had so much charges. These people tell me I was looking at 25 to life. Because I was a habitual felony. My third offense. But this is my first charge ever in Virginia. Never had a speeding ticket or nothing. But they looking back on my background. So then they came and got me in the middle of the night. He was like, if you work with me, I'll work with you and we'll let you go. I like, I'm nobody's snitch. I'm not gonna tell nobody. For sure. And it's just this one particular person they was looking for. They like, if you tell me where he at, we will let you go. I said, nah, I'm not gonna tell you nothing. They said, well, you rather do time leave your kids for this person. I said, I do what I gotta do.
All right. So after your you got your lawyer, so we're gonna go from that point. Like,
okay, when I got my lawyer and we had our first consultation, so he took me there. He said, "What are you doing up here?" I live here. My kids go to school here. My daughter graduated from Patrick County High School. She is CNA. Blase, blase, blase. He like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Mind you, I had a white lawyer.
yeah.
He said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. He said, you're black and you said you decided to sell drugs in the wrong state. He said, they're gonna burn your ass. That's exactly what he said.
Damn.
I like, okay. He said, so you either work with them or they're gonna work you. I said, I'm not working with them, so why how they gonna work me? And he like, you'll see. He said, you wanna be hard? They're gonna show you how to be hard. I said, I'm not trying to be hard, I'm just me. I'm me. You can't take that away from me. He said, oh, so you gangster. I said, call it how you want to call it. So I went back in there, and they took me back to the jail. So I went back in there. So it's like 2:00 in the morning. Here come these white men snatching me. I mean, snatching me up like I was some dude, a rag doll. So me, I'm being moved, ready to fight. So I'm like, I'm protecting myself here. I like, what's up? I'm squaring up with y'all. I don't care. Y'all officer what? What's up? So they're like, oh, you hard. We got a tough one. So 2:00 in the morning, take me in the interrogation room. They're like, now is your time. You want to go out there and put these drugs back on the streets for us? Or you gonna go to prison for life? I like, well, I guess I'll go to prison for life. They're like, you think it's a joke? I said, take it how y'all want to take it. So I'm sitting up in the county. Let me say, county time is the worst time to do it.
So,
I sit up in the county, so I went back to court for my preliminary hearing. So they read me all my charges. Charges I don't even know about. I like, wow, what are these? I say, it seemed like charges that was enough from North Carolina. They're like distribution, third offense, possession with intent to sell and deliver in a school zone. I like, wow, I never sold drugs in the school zone, never sold drugs. What is y'all talking about? So they go to the judge again, me the Commonwealth this time, big man. He like, this your last time. Are you gonna work with us? I said, no, wrong one. I said, I have kids. I said, a snitch, they get killed or they'll kill the closest thing to them. And I say, I'm not gonna die, and I'm damn sure not gonna let my kids get killed behind some bullies. So here go my lawyer again. He said, oh, so you don't want to work with them? I said, is you with them or are you with me? So I'm calling home again. I like, look, y'all, I need a paid lawyer. Still won't get me a lawyer. And that was
so you got a public pretender.
A public pretender. That's what you call not defender, but pretender.
Public pretender.
Yeah, so they wouldn't get me a lawyer. So then I called my homeboy again. I like, my family won't get me a lawyer. What am I supposed to do? With this court defender, he's with them. I don't have nobody with me. So I like, look, I'm ready to go to trial. Whatever you do. He said, so you want to take it to trial? Jury trial? I said, yeah, I feel like I had a chance of getting off going to jury. He said, you know who are going to be up there? Old white retirement polices, judges, lawyers. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. Then I thought about it. I said, no, I'm going to wait it out. I ain't going to take the jury trial. So then I stayed in the county for forever. I said, can we please, I'm ready to get this over with. Ready to give it. So April, I can't remember the exact date, I went to court. So I had my kids, my sister, everybody there. Even people from my kids' school was there.
Oh, wow.
To defend for me. It was white people that was on my side that talked for me. So they like was reading all kind of stuff, like made me out to be this monster I'm not. Like the judge, the Commonwealth attorney, like she don't need to be out on the streets and this, that. She need to be put away because North Carolina gave her a pat on the wrist every time she get caught. Say don't get caught. But it would always been a confidential informant that gets me. And they just gave me probation in North Carolina. They're like, well, no, we're not gonna give them pat on the wrist. She need to go to prison. I like prison, and the judge like, how much drugs did she have? And he was like, blase, blase, blase. I can't even remember the coins. I got the papers, and I like, really? I was just laughing. So then my lawyer got up there. Oh, he was just so against me. He didn't even defend me. So then my daughter got on the stand. My sister got on the stand. That still didn't even work. So then the judge like bring her in my whatever that was chamber. So he looked at me. He said, I really want to help you, but I can't. He said, because I have to follow some kind of Brown versus something. He was trying to compare my case to another case.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, a lot of times they compare cases and they try to, I guess, give people a fair case.
But he like, I can't because you're like a habitual felony and you're a menace to society.
Wow.
You just had so many chances after chances, and he like, I hate to do it to you, and he like, you're looking at 25 to life. So I like, really? I like, okay. So we went back out, and we like, I'm staying for. He like, do you have something to say? And I like, whatever I did, I apologize. I said, but I have 4 kids. I never meant to hurt them or hurt me or anybody. I said, but what y'all saying that I am, I'm not that person. I said, y'all have to know me to know me. So he was like, then he started reading. Third offense. He said, you got 65 years with 45 suspended. I like, okay, I like, in my head, like, he said, you have to do 5 years on each charge. I'm going to drop a charge. So that gave me 15 years mandatory day for day. I like, okay. So then I like, when he like take her back to the jail. So then when I see my... When I see my kids were there, then I like, can I speak to my kids? Then he like, those your kids? I like, yes. And then the sheriff, she like, please let her speak to her kids. Let her speak to kids, because she's not going to see them for a while. And then my son was like, mama. So they took me in the back. I spent time with my kids. When I came back out, he like, take her out now. And then in my mind, something telling me, when the sheriff had me, something just like, take her gun and kill everybody in the courthouse, because they take you away from your kids. And I was just like, no, I can't do it. Then I really never see them. And then as they was walking me out, my kids was just crying. I couldn't do nothing for them. It's like I let them down, because I told them I would never leave them, ever. So it took me back to the jail. And when I went back in my cell, going to my cell, I seen the dude who set me up. And he was like, I like, you, Rollo? He like, I had to do it. I like, why? My kids and your kids play together. They went to school together. They was on football team together. They played sports together. I like, why you do this to me? He like, well, I couldn't get who I had to get you. He like, I tried to get him, but I couldn't. So I say, you rather for me to go down than to have to get him. He like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm really sorry, Shawnette. I had to do what I had to do. So as I go back in the pod, and I was just like thinking. So that night, I tried to kill myself. I tied a sheet around my neck. But then something came up with me, and he's like, I'm not ready for you. He's like, I'm not ready for you, so why is you trying to kill yourself? You have 4 beautiful kids. They're going to be well taken care of. And I like, God, why me? Why me? I know I lived that life, but why me? Why me? Why he set me up? Poor me. I didn't do nothing to nobody. So then they had me in this psych ward in this turtle suit, like giving me all kind of medicine, sedating me. Like I was out of my mind. Then I was like, can I please use the phone? I couldn't use the phone. I couldn't use nothing, no toilet paper, no nothing. I like, how I supposed to use the bathroom? I was supposed to wipe my tail. They give me a little piece of tissue to wipe my tail, like 2 pieces. So the next day,
Wow.
I had to outsmart them. I got up, cleaned myself up. I'm good. I'm ready to go. They're like, no, you still on suicide watch. I'm good. I'm ready to go back to the pod. So it's like 3 days later, they took me back to the pod. So then it was these church ladies came in and they was talking to me. And one lady, it's something special about you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is it? They say I'm a bad person. I'm a monster. I'm this, I'm that. And she like, no, you're not. She said, you know what? Things happen for a reason. God put you here for a reason. I said, why would God put me in jail? Why would he do that? I say, I don't even want to hear that. Because God wouldn't put nobody in jail.
Yeah.
So I was just ignoring the church people, being nasty, rude to them. And I was like, that's not me. Why I'm being nasty to these people.
Right,
So I you know what? I said, I'm ready to go to prison. Please call the prison. I'm ready to go. By this time, I'd have been in the county jail for a year, getting bored, nothing to do. Just get up, eat, wash,
right.
using the bathroom in front of all the witnesses. So then the sheriff that took me to court that day, she like, I'm going to give you a job. I said, what job? She said, to be a trustee. That way you can get out. You could do laundry. You could do this. Okay, so I started doing laundry, washing the sheriff cars. I feel like a slave with my money. They're like, you ain't getting paid here. I oh no. So it was some girls giving me, they're like, oh, when you go to the penitentiary, it's better than this. I said, it gotta be. I said, because this right here is hell. It's hell. You wake up every morning, you walking around in a circle. So me, I'm like, I'm ready to go to prison. I'm ready to go to prison. Please take me to prison. So 2 o'clock one morning, they like, Miss McNeil, pack up. You're going to prison. I like, thank you. So when I get there, they're like, we don't have no TASKIA. I like, so I don't have to go to prison. I can go home. They're like, well, I don't know. You're not in our booking to come to this penitentiary. So they took me back to the county. So I stayed there for 3 more months. I like, well, if I ain't need nobody prison system, send me home. Let me go. Let me go. So 3 months later, they like, pack up. You're going to prison this time. I said, okay. So they packed me up in this thing called black box. They have to shock you from your throat down to your feet, to your ankles.
Wow.
And your hands is like this, handcuffs tight. And they put this black box. So I'm like, oh, can't do nothing. So I gets in back of this van, no lights, no nothing. Black, you don't know bugs, spiders, or what. So it's like a 5-hour drive from Patrick County to Troy, Virginia. That's what it took me.
Okay.
So 4-hour drive, no bathroom. I'm like this, gotta use the bathroom. This bathroom, stop, didn't do that. So when I get there
on that 5-hour drive, then
they didn't stop. Whole 5 hours, I'm sitting back there on a bench in a dark van by myself.
Damn.
5 hours. So when I get there, I hear the van finally stop. They open the door. They're like, Miss McNeil, you're here. So I'm looking around, see the people with the guns. Like, this is really for real. I'm in prison. So get out. They like, say your name. I gave my name. So they walked me in the gate. Then I walked through another door. Then that door shut. I said, okay. So they say, this is when your name changed. I said, what? My name changed. My name is TASKIA. They're like, when they put it like this, you don't have a social security no more. You have a state number. I'm like, oh, okay. So they're like, she thinks she's just really hard. They're like, there's somebody out on that yard for you. You go out there with that attitude. So, okay. So I got my box. They gave me my little box and everything. They're like, you got one phone call. I say one. So I'm thinking, who to call? Nobody know they think I'm still in the county. Who to call? So I called my sister, no answer, and that was it. I couldn't make no more phone calls.
Wow. So ain't nobody know where you was at.
Nobody know where I was at.
Where were you? The prison you were at?
In Troy, Virginia, Fluvanna Correction Center.
Okay.
So that was my only call before they take me on the intake. So they dressed me out. I went in intake. So then they introduced me to my roommate. Intake is where you do like 90 days before you go out into the real penitentiary out there. You just take your tests, like AIDS tests. They do like physicals and stuff on you.
Like in South Carolina, they call it R&E.
Yeah.
So something like that.
Mm-hmm.
R&E.
So you got to do all that and dental and all that stuff. Give information to your family. If you die in here, do you want to be buried in the penitentiary graveyard, or you want your body to be sent home? I like sent home. They like, well, if it's sent home, your family gonna have to buy your body back from us. I like, so if I die in this penitentiary, mean to tell me my family had to buy my body from y'all? They're like, yeah. I'm like, wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, in Virginia, they like your family.
I thought they automatically like give back to the family, so they got to buy that. Wow.
The family had to buy your body back from them. So I give them all the information. Met my roommate. She was like, all right. So, excuse me. Then I had a window. They called the boulevard window. So I had a window on the boulevard. I could look out and see everybody walking. I'm like, okay, wow, this is real. So I can I use the phone? They're like, no. So it's a phone on the desk. So the phone rang. I answered it. So I'm thinking our family call. I said, wow, maybe that's my family calling. So as soon as I grabbed that phone, they bum rushed me, took me to the cell, took me to the holding cell. I like, what is a holding cell? They're like, you going to SEG. I said, SEG? What is SEG? They're like, you going to get punished. Like, because you used that phone. I said, I didn't know. Nobody tell me that. Oh, everybody, and they laughing and think it's a joke. You knew they ain't going to tell you what's going on. So they took me to segregation. In segregation, you get naked. I said, oh my God, here I go naked again. This time, I had to squat, cough, and everything. So I said, okay, SEG dark. No lights, no nothing. Your food sliding under your door. I like, wow. I said, how long I got to be here in SEG? So I stayed in SEG for like 2 days for using the phone. So I went back in intake. I said, why y'all didn't tell me I couldn't use the phone?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I thought you knew. How y'all thought I knew? I just got here. So after they did all that, they like, Miss Goodwin, pack up. No, Miss McNeil, pack up. I like, where I'm going? They're like, you going to population. Now it's population. Okay. So I'm going to population. So me and some other girls, we chained together going to population. So as we walking down the boulevard, they like, get a job and don't take the chips. I'm like, don't take the chips. Why just don't take the chips? Don't take the potato chips.
Right.
So I like, what is y'all talking about? They like, if you go in your room and you see some chips on your bed, don't take it.
Oh, okay. I already know what it is.
Yeah. So they like, get a job, get a job, get a job, get a job. So as I go in there, I'm looking around, they threw my boxes in, they give you white tees, underwears, everything so you can buy your own. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking around, like, where's my room? Then I went in my room, here come this big white stud. So I'm looking, chips on my bed.
Wow.
No cap, chips on my bed. I said, can you please, I don't want them. And, oh, you just get here come some snacks, some snacks. I like, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. It was a stud. I like, oh my God. So why put me in with a stud? So he like, I don't know why I'm calling he, but they look like dudes. We call them boys. So like,
so they call them boys.
Yeah, they call them boys.
Yeah.
So he like, let me help you unpack. I say, I don't need you to help me unpack. I can unpack myself. I said, there's nothing to unpack. I'm leaving my stuff in my bin. So he like, oh, you want me to cook you something? I say, they got stoves in here? He like, no, but I could cook you something in the microwave. I said, oh no. I said, that's all right. I said, my family gonna send me some money. So I said, he like, sure you don't want no chips? I said, I don't want the chips. I don't want the chips. So I like, where's the phone at? I said, can I please use the phone? So they like the phone right there. So here come everybody like Debo on the phone. I like, man, y'all been here. Can I please use the phone? Use the phone. Use the phone. And then like there was one girl. She like, okay, use the phone. That's when I finally got in touch with my homeboy girlfriend, well, wife. And I told her where I was to please let my family know where I was at.
Yeah.
So she did, and she sent me money. And then my kids' grandma, I got in touch with her, and she sent me some money. So I was fine. So then this roommate, like, can you scratch my hair? I'm like, what? I'm like, no. Like, I'm not doing that. So then I'm asleep. He's over me. I like, I'm just checking you out. I ain't never been with a black woman.
What?
I said, what? I said, well, this not be your first one. I'm not going to be the first one. So then we came cool, just talking. Became my best. She became my best friend.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So then, and then they moved me to another room upstairs with some girl. Then me and her got in a fight. My first fight. I don't really call it a fight, but we got in a fight. And so then she got moved in. They bring a young person in there. I said, oh Lord, got this change. Then it was just so much, and start arguing. Then you have to watch your back in there, taking showers. Then they're like, girl, you better put a towel in your door and like so it can lock your door and shut the curtains. And I like, why? Because the officers be coming in there watching you. So one officer, he like snatched the curtains. Man, I like, what? He like, show me something. I like, show you what? He like, I'll give you anything you want. I can bring you some drugs in here. I could do this. I could do that. I like, no. Like, no. Then that night he came to my room. He shining the light, and I was in there by myself during that time. He like, show me something. I like, no. I like, this what y'all doing here? Y'all do this to people? So then they like, the next morning, like, you want to go to the chow hall? I like, what is a chow hall? They like the cafeteria.
Yeah.
So we march into the cafeteria. We got 20 minutes to eat. So as we get in there, seeing a girl got raped in the cafeteria. I like, they actually sat there and let this girl get raped. I like, wow. So at that point, I'm scared. I like, y'all, please don't touch me. They like, oh no, you think you hard. They like, where you from? I'm like, I'm from South Carolina. They're like, yeah, y'all think y'all hard down there. I like, no, you got these people from New York in here. They harder than me. I'm just soft. I like, they harder than me. But then I got in school where I got a job. My first job was doing laundry. I did laundry. Then I got close to the captain. She was a female. She was from Barbados. She became like a mentor to me. And I was like crying to her. I like, I need to see my kids. I'm so far away from them, like 5 hours from them. I need to see my kids. And she like, tell me how to set up the visitation. So they denied the visitation. They keep denying the visitation. They like, I was like an unfit mother or something to my kids. I couldn't be around my kids. So then I start crying again. Like, I need to see my kids. I said, I haven't seen my kids. And so she said, I'm going to see, or you can get to see you have a visit. I like, okay. Then I called my sister. They denied my sister. I like, well, I ain't going to never get a visit. So then she came in. She said, well, I got your visitation approved for your kids to come. So then when my kids did came, they only let two of them in. My oldest one and my baby and my 2 grandkids. And I'm like, why they wouldn't let my other kids in? Then I really flip out then. I really flip out. So after that, I was just like staying busy, maintaining, keeping my mind off the streets because I was thinking about home more than in there. Then they're like, she like, you have to concentrate in here because she said in here is a whole different world. Yeah. Time stops, and believe time stops in there. It's
so
like,
how much time you had to do in it? Like, this is about what, year 1 or?
Yeah, this is my first year. Yeah. Yeah, it was like going by slow. So my first year, I stayed busy. I worked out, stayed active, kept my mind off of stuff. Then I met one friend in there, and she became my best friend. I can't wait till she get home.
Okay.
And her story just is crazy because she only had to do 5 months, and 5 months turned into 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Because she decided to ball hot water in the microwave and throw on somebody. Yep, so.
Yeah, so.
I got through the first year. So 2013, it was like, it was okay. I got through there. I got in school. I started taking college courses.
Okay.
And just like staying busy. I had like 2 jobs at night and in the morning. Then take my college classes during the day. Like
what you studying now?
I had studied I did HVAC. I know how to do heating and air. I did my last year of prison. I did cosmetology.
Okay.
I did learn how to do the floors.
Okay.
And
so yeah, you got busy in
early child, elementary childhood, whatever that, because I want to open up a daycare. And then I did the mortician.
Okay.
Mortician took all that, but I couldn't do embalming in there and stuff like that. But I took those classes online. But we got degrees in there from Patchahenry Community College, stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So then in 2015, I got in this group, this peer group. So started opening up to there and like talking to other females, then other young people that came there. And then things started to change. It started changing. We got a new warden. That's when it got real strict in there. Uniform, your bed had to be makeup. You had to get up like 5 o'clock in the morning. Your bed made, staying for count. Like, because we usually, I like, sorry, everybody just laying down and stand. I lay down too. So you had to, when you hear that whistle, you have to jump up, stand for count. So then here come me and get a new roommate. Another young person. I like, God, what is you trying to tell me? Why is these young people keep coming into my cell? And so then they were like, they don't care. Oh, I don't care. I said, y'all think this a joke? Do y'all have kids? Like, no. I said, that's why it doesn't matter to y'all, because y'all don't have kids. I said, but look at you're 18 years old. You should be, you just now living your life.
Right.
You should be in college somewhere. They're like, how can you tell somebody, oh, gee, you in here yourself? I said, well, learn from me. I said, if I could take this all back, I would take it all back. So
that was one of my questions. That was one of my questions. Like, if, like, the lesson that you saw, I get it, like, the lessons you want to teach the other people, that it wasn't really worth it, right?
No, it wasn't worth it, because at home, you can get up when you want to get up, go to your refrigerator when you want to go to the refrigerator. But there, you got somebody else telling you what to do. Stand for count. Do this, do that. You only got 20 minutes to eat. You have to eat so fast, you can't even enjoy your food.
Sure.
Then, if you get in trouble, you can't order commissary. You're stuck. And the food they served you was nothing, was no good.
Yeah.
So then, in 2018, I'm thinking they tell me to pack up. So I'm thinking I'm going to a work camp. I said, okay, I'm going to a work camp. So when I get out there, they told 2 more other people to pack up. I said, oh, so y'all going to the work camp? They like, 5 o'clock? I'm looking at my watch too. I'm like, 5 o'clock? Dog, they late taking us to another penitentiary. So here go me. Here go the cops coming, the big dogs coming, the warden, everybody coming with carts. I like, oh yeah. I said, what work yard I'm going to? They like, you're going to say. I like, what I do now? I'm going to say. They're like, you try to escape.
What?
Yeah, like me and 2 other people that we was friends, and they're like, we was trying to escape. I like, try to escape. I don't know what y'all talking about. And the girl, well, it was a boy. Me and him became friends, and I guess his girlfriend thought we was going together. And she must have told them that we tried to escape, that we had a blueprint. She had it all planned out. We had a blueprint that we was trying to escape. So they took us to SIG. So I'm like, how long I have to stay in SIG? They're like, till the investigation over with. We got to make phone calls, go through your personal property to see if I was writing letters or whatever. Go back on my phone records to see if I was calling somebody to help me escape. So the detectives, the in-house detectives, they investigate that. So while I'm back there and say, you got the TAF team running in. like kicking in everybody's doors, like drugs back there. It was just crazy, like drugs. So then that time they moved from the back to the front and said, so I've like talked to the one. I said, can you please get me from back here? I said, I didn't plan to escape. I don't know what they're talking about. So he like, let me make a phone call. So then next day they like, Miss McNeil, pack up, you going back to population. I like, okay. So I went back to population. This time I'm living in a different dorm. Had to start over with different people. So I like, oh, so I managed to do that.
So what year is this? Like how many years you
This was like 2000 and what? 2018, 19.
Okay.
So I had this new roommate. She was wild. So you know, it's more drugs inside the prison than outside the prison.
Everybody tell like people tell me that all the time.
Whatever drug you want is in there. So I had a roommate. She was on drugs or whatever. So she had whoever, whatever. So I'm like, she went to school or whatever. So the girl came in there. She like, I'm gonna take such and such makeup. I like, please don't touch her makeup because it gonna fall back on me. She like, just tell her. So instead of me telling the girl that the girl took her makeup, I didn't tell her. So it like a week went by. So we was getting ready to take pictures or something. And she like, my makeup's gone. She like, where my makeup at? I like, I don't have your makeup. I said, such and such came. So she went to tell her boyfriend, which was my friend. So he was like, I went down the pier line. He said, I'm going to get you at the pier line. I like, what is she talking about? You stole my girl makeup. I like, I didn't steal your girl makeup. So I didn't pay no attention. I like, that's my homeboy. He ain't going to do nothing. So I'm in the room, like, writing. So then he came in there and he was like, boo, 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 boo. So me, I'm going to have to defend myself. So I got to fight.
Oh, wow.
So this is my really fight. And remember I said I was in a fight, but now this is really my fight. I have to fight to defend myself. So I'm fighting. I said, so you want to fight like a dude? I'm going to beat you like a dude. I said, because all my life I fought dudes. So I'm going to beat you like you a dude. So then I just like punished her, took her shirt, put over her head, and we started fighting.
That's real. Yeah.
And so then the girl in the next door said, she said, TASKIA, that's enough. Yeah, I had a black eye. Yeah, I walked around with a black eye. I did that, proudly walked around with a black eye.
But you won the war though, so you won the battle, yeah.
So I walk around with a black eye. So my lieutenant, somebody went back and told the lieutenant what happened. They're like, at this time, I'm cool with the lieutenants and everybody in there. They're like, Miss McNeil, come here, what happened to your eye? Me, I like, oh, I was sleepwalking. I ran into the bump. They're like, no, you didn't. I like, yes, I did, Lieutenant. I ran into the bump. So they're like, no, you didn't. They're like, we know who did it, such and such. I'm like, no, she didn't do that. That's my homegirl. She didn't do that. Yeah. They're like, because we heard you put a whipping on her. So I like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I ran into the bed. So this time they didn't split us up. And then she like, I'm sorry, dog. Doubt me up. We cool. You my sister. I like, we cool. I like, you should have listened to me instead of you listen to the white girl.
Yeah.
So we became cool. So like, everything went well. So then I got back in school. I got in another class where I said cosmetology. I started taking my cosmetologist. So I was doing that. And I was back in HVAC, finishing up HVAC and stuff like that. And what is that took? I signed up for Kairos. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Kairos. It's a spiritual journey. So I signed up for that.
Kairos?
I signed up for that. So I never got in there. I like, God, please let me get in Kairos. Let me be an angel or something. Let me just be an angel. So they denied me for that. I couldn't get in Kairos. So in 2019, I got to be in Kairos. So then that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Taking that spiritual journey. It was a week. And I was like, I needed that. It was just like, it was amazing. It was just like, I can't explain it. It was just like, when you walk in there, it was just, it was prison. We were still in prison, but it was like, we was away from prison. Mm-hmm. When I took that spiritual journey, it just seemed like something came over me. It's just like, it's just like the door of heaven or something open. And they were like, you're going home. You're not going to be here your whole 15 years. I like, really? They're like, you're not going to be here for 15 years. You're not going to do your whole 15 years. And so then one is this, I think it was the last night of Cairo's, we did this. It was something she gave us, and we had to, it was a piece of paper, it dissolves, and we had to write down something what we want. And I wrote down, I said, God, only thing I want to do is live to make it home to my kids. Please don't let nothing happen to them. Please don't let nothing happen to me. Please don't let nothing happen to my mom, my sister. I said, main thing, I want to make it out these doors home to my sister, to my kids.
Yeah.
So then my son, I talked to my son, his dad got killed. It's like I was losing people in this year. Everybody was dying. My son, father, my homeboy, which was my best friend, everybody was dying. It was like everything was going wrong. I like, God, not now, please. I can't go through this, keep losing all these people.
Wow.
And so I got through 2019, then I got through 2020. So then I was just keeping myself focused, staying busy, working. Then 2021, everything was going smooth. I didn't make, get along with everybody now. On the yards, like I earn respect because I didn't back down for nobody. It's like they respected me there. They're like, yeah, you cool, TASKIA, you cool. And so 2021, that's when I had back problems and they got bad health there. They don't take care. You don't care if you die or what.
Yeah.
And so before that happened, I was at work and I came in. This girl who was my friend hung herself.
Wow.
And that was the biggest thing to see your friend hanging from the bathroom shower.
Yeah.
That was sad. And she was getting ready to go home. But like I said, you never know what somebody's going through in there. And I encourage anybody who got family inside there, please, when they call you, don't block their calls. Please, just answer their call because you never know what they're going through in there. Because some people don't have family in there. And they just want to talk to, other people, they get pen pals or whatever in there.
Yeah.
And they just want to talk to people. And some people got family, but their family turned their back on them. I'm glad to say I had a good support team with me. My family supported me. Every time I called, it was there. Every time I called for money, it was there. Even though they said I was aggravating them for money. But at the same time, I was stacking my bread. I was stacking my money. And, and then you have to be on a budget. You have to be on a budget there because when I worked, my check was like $27 a month for the whole month.
Oh, wow.
Then I had to get hygiene, food, pay for phone calls if I didn't want my family to pay for it. But like I said, if anybody got family in there, please answer their phone call. Now they got tablets, you can video them, video call. They can do video calls. Just talk to your family because it's a lot of lives got because they family turned their back on them.
So now you on the journey of coming home. Like, so matter of fact, what led to the experience of you getting to go home? Like,
What led? Okay, like I said, I had my back surgery done in 2021, and so then, and when I got out, I had to stay in the little hospital there. So then I finally, after that, 7 weeks in the little hospital there, the infirmary. So I came back to my dorm, and at this time I went in another dorm, a roommate. So I thank God the last little bit of the time I had there, I had the best roommate I could ever had. I like, God, what happened to her when I first got here? When I say that was the best roommate, she was best roommate, and it was like we had everything in common. Like she had kids, well, one son, and I had kids, and we just talk about everything. She was in there for drugs. They like gave her a lot of time, but she was in there multiple times. So this was like her third time in prison.
Okay.
So she was like telling me her story. She like, this is my last time. She said, I'm tired. She said, Taskia, I'm tired. She said, when you get out, don't you look back here. I want you to go home and live your life. Go back to them kids. She said, you can't give them the lost time that they lost. She said, but be a mother to them.
Sure.
And she like, this is my third time here. And she said, you think I'm proud of it? She said, I am embarrassed of it. And she's like, just go home. Just go home. Let this be a lesson learned. And I like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And we like the same age. She like, don't call me yes, ma'am. But we stayed up nights and talk. Even if we get mad at each other, we probably not talk for a day or two. But we back there. She said, girl, what's your problem? I like, what's your problem? Yeah. We cooked together. We did everything together. We washed clothes together. We worked out together. We just did everything. Then I just got down one day. I was like, I want to go outside. I can't go outside. Like, I walked to the back door. I want to go outside. And she like, you can't go outside. Like, you know what? When I go outside again, I'm gonna be thankful for that to breathe the fresh air. So she like, I had got a letter. No, I had called one of my homeboys' mom. She was locked up there too. And I called her. She like, Taskia. I like, yes. She said, you know, you're about to get out. I like, no. But let me back up. I called this man. One of these girls gave me her husband number, and I called him, and I was telling him about my situation, and he said, send me $1,500, and he said, I will work on your case. I like, okay, so I told my sister, they raised the money. My friends from Hollywood, they all raised the money. They sent him $1,500. He said, so I'm going to send this to the governor. And it's called, my sister did a petition. Everybody wrote up a petition. It got like 1,000 signatures. So she did that. So he like, I'm going to put this in. I'm going to send this to the governor. He said, once I send it, I'm going to let you know. So when I send it and he sent it, he said, it's on the governor's desk. I like, okay, doing that. He said, the governor is about to leave and a new governor is coming in. But he said he can pass it on to the new governor. So mind you, my whole bid from the county to the prison, I was reaching out. I reached out to Obama. I reached out to Jesse Jackson. I never gave up. I always had hope. I wrote to the NAACP. I wrote to everybody I could see, even down to Kim Kardashian. I reached out to everybody. So then one day, I called him. I like, what's going on? He like, it's still on the governor's desk. I like, this governor is about to leave in 2 days. So we got a letter back. They denied it. They denied my getting out early. So he like, we're going to submit it again. I said, okay. He said, but listen, whatever happened, it happened. I like, no, I don't want it to happen like that. He said, I'm telling you, it's a new law about to take effect. And he like, I just need some more information. And he said, within this new law about to take over, and I give them your story, your information, what happened, you might open doors for this new law to pass through. Mm-hmm. So he like, so then here come the new governor coming on. So he like, I open it up, they looking at it. They're looking at your case. I like, okay. So then I got a letter from the governor's office. They like, Miss McNeil, we're looking at your case and we're coming up with a decision. I like, okay. So I never heard back from them. So one night I just called my friend mom. She like, Taskia, you're coming home. I like, no, I'm not. I said, I don't get out to 2026. She said, you're coming home. I said, when? She said, I'm not going to tell you. So that night at mail call, my roommate was on the phone and they said, Taskia McNeil, you got mail. And so I looked and I just like, I had to wipe my eyes again and I see it say July the 25th, 2023, you will be released from Virginia State Department of Corrections.
Oh, wow.
And I like, oh my God, I like roommate, come here. I got a letter. She said, shh, don't tell everybody. I said, I got a letter. I'm going home. So I called my kids. I called my oldest daughter. I'm coming home July the 25th of 2023. That is, this year was 2022. I said, that's next year. She said, Mom, no, you're not. I said, look it up. And she said, Mom, you coming home July the 25th of 2023. And so then that Monday, my roommate got a letter. She went home 7 days before me.
Wow.
That same year, 2023, she went home 7 days before me. So then they passed the law and for nonviolent offenders for females in the Department of Correction in Virginia.
Okay.
They
That's good.
released a lot of people. So I 2023, hurry up and come. Hurry up and come.
Yeah.
So that day, that morning, July the 25th, I got up 3 o'clock in the morning. So I took a shower, everything, gave everything away. So then stood up for count. Then after count, I said, I'm ready to go. They like, wait a minute, they got to call your name first.
Yeah.
I said, so my family out there, I got on the phone, called my family. They was out there. I said, what y'all waiting on? It's 8 o'clock. It's time to release me. So they finally got me on the cart, take whatever I was going to take with me there, dress me out. I didn't leave out there till 11 o'clock. I had to wait for records to open up to get my records and everything. But that day, when I walked out them gates, when they took me to the gates and I say my number for the last time, my state number for the last time, and I see my kids, I just ran and hugged them like there was no tomorrow. And they say, don't look back. I didn't even look back to say bye or nothing. I just let's go. But I'm just saying, prison, nobody, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. Nobody want to go there. So, it maybe look good on the outside looking in, but it's not good. You got a lot of kids, a lot of young kids that was coming in and out. It was like a revolving door for them. Revolving door. I y'all give me time to get home. Let me go. It was just like young kids.
You were seeing the same people.
Same people over and over. Then this one girl, me and her became close. She would call me Mom. And she came back in there. I what happened? She said, I messed up. I said, don't mess up no more. So now she's home. She's doing good.
Yeah, that's good.
But I advise, please, young people, not even the young, y'all, please, penitentiary and where you want to be, because that's a whole different life.
Okay. Right. So following up to the part that led you, to that life, what would be one of the main things that females don't want to get involved with?
Don't date no drug dealers.
Yeah.
Don't even get on drugs, because sometimes using drugs will lead you I want to sell it. Even selling drugs will lead you to doing drugs.
Yeah.
Don't even robbery could lead you to selling drugs or going in there. Just especially females, it's more black females inside the penitentiary. And the young, I'm just please don't live that drug life. Go to school, get a degree. Yeah. I don't care if you got to work the Burger King. I don't care. Go do it. Just don't go to prison. And especially if you young and you go in there and have a baby, your baby's going to get taken from you. Either give it to the system or a family member come get it. It's over. And I've been seeing so many of them have babies. They hold their baby and your baby gets snatched out your arm. It's sad. Wow. Please don't go. Just get a job, go to school, just get in college, so get a degree, because penitentiary ain't where you want to go.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is good, because we never hear from a female side. A lot of times we always hear from the male side. The guys always, either talk about their prison life, and we already know it's tough back there too. But obviously it's the same type of toughness. You're dealing with the same thing.
Because you have officers in there, they having sex with you, they're raping you. It's just terrible in there.
Yeah.
Terrible. They want to get close to you, then it's just terrible. It's in there. The men think they got it worse, but the female have worse because you have officers that really raping the females in there. They going with them, getting them pregnant in there. It's just crazy.
So what happens? That's wild. So if a female get pregnant, what happened? What happened? Like the
officer,
yeah,
he'll lose his job.
That's it.
They'll like probably charge him or something like that. I know it was one dude. When I left, he was still under investigation because something he did to a female. He lost his job. First they like suspended him, but he really lost his job, and he got to go to court behind that.
You gotta go to court.
Then this one lady, she really got them in there. She set him up. She like, okay, I'm gonna have sex with you. She did what she had to do, and she hold the stuff inside her mouth and give it to them, and that's how they caught him.
Oh wow.
Yes, they'll come get you like 2:00 in the morning. Like, oh, we want to take you somewhere to use the phone. Oh, no, you got a lawyer visit. 2:00 in the morning. Why would a lawyer be coming to see you 2:00 in the morning? So they'll take you where they know the cameras don't don't be at. Take you in there and like rape you, have sex with you.
That's tough.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So, damn. So now, well, we'll stop it. All right. So after you got released, and now you're back with your kids. Like, what the first thing you did when you came home?
When I came home, the first thing I did when I got out there, out the penitentiary, we went to eat, but I couldn't eat because I stopped eating meats.
Oh wow, okay.
Being in there, you'll stop eating a lot of stuff if you know what goes on.
Yeah.
In there, so I stopped eating meat. So we would stop to get something to eat. I took a drink. Then I went to North Carolina. We had a little cookout at my brother's. Then came back. I had to see my PO. Had to come to Orangeburg County to see my PO. But before all that happened, I had to come out with a mindset like I'm not going back to that life, that street life. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I had to remind myself, you're not going back to that life. You're not going to get a job. So I came here, Holly Hill, stayed with my oldest daughter, got me a job. It was like with Belmont Home Care. That was my first job. Like I'm telling y'all, when you come home, they always say you're a convicted felon, you cannot get a job. Maybe sometimes you can't, but sometimes you can. But you got to have the faith. And my faith was, I'm going to get a job in the nursing field. So Belmont gave me my first job when I got home.
Okay.
And so he gave me my job. So then I stayed there for like a year. So then 2024, I got another job. I had 3 jobs.
Wow.
At this point, I had 3 jobs, no sleep.
Yeah, okay.
No sleep. I wash, take a nap, go to this job, go to this job.
Yeah.
I'm up back at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm up. Get home 11 or 12 at night, back up. I'm up. I ran 3 jobs. I like, look, I got to do it the right way this time, the right way. So then I was like, now I got to get my own place. Okay. I work on that. So I got a car. One of my friends gave me a car so I can have transportation back and forth to work because it was hard, but no car. You know, you got to ask this person to take you to work, this person pick you up, then give them this money for gas. It was just hard. So I had to come out with a mindset to get a job. And then I met this dude. Then I was just explaining to him, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I lost everything I had. I had house, car, but that's material stuff. I say, I'm going to get it the right way this time. I said, even if he well, babe, you could just start off with an apartment. I'm okay, got an apartment. So, doing good.
That's good.
Working now. Working in Goose Creek at Stratford Place. I'm a med tech there.
Wow, so, good. Congrats. Yeah, that's good.
So now I just want to go back to school for botany.
Yeah.
But
okay, that's what my niece does, man. So that's a good thing.
And so then I went to church. I told I talked to my friend girl on the phone. I said, when I get out, I'm coming to your church. And I went to her and her husband's church, and that's where I still go to yet today. And they encourage me. They like send little scriptures, little prayers. You know, it's a lot of people encouraging me. Like sometimes I'll be like, I sit and think about, I like, dang, I did that. I did 12 years.
Wow.
In the penitentiary, state time, not fair time.
Not fair time.
I did state time. I like 12 years. They like how you did it. I like it was rough, but you just have to be strong. You have to be strong-minded. I like it was hard, but it was by the grace of God. Because I gave up plenty of times by like trying to harm myself. But when he came and said he wasn't ready for me, I know it was time to get right. But I'm just glad to be home with my kids, and I'll just tell these young kids, guns and drugs just don't mix. It just don't. Y'all think y'all hard because you make a little bit of money. Yeah, back then that money had looked good. Now you got like $100, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. But what's the consequences behind that when you get caught?
Yeah.
Then you're going to like, I wish I hadn't did this, I hadn't did that. Like, don't let it be too late. Just don't let it be too late.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people recall it. It's like, you know, you got the drug users. They got an addiction, but I think a lot of times people don't look at it from you know, the person who the drugs, you know, the dealer. They got an addiction as well, and that's the money.
And it is an addiction for real. It is.
Yeah.
Like once you get there, when you make that first stack, you're like, oh, now I got 2 stacks. Oh, I'm a flip this. Now I got 10 stacks. It's like the money. It is addiction. It's like you gotta have it. You gotta have it. And like, oh, I can go in the lot, get in a car, pay for it cash. Like,
and that's really at the end of the day is all just for material.
Just for the looks. Oh, I could take a flight. I could take a trip. I could go to the car rental place. Like, let me get this, and have it for like it's mine. Yeah, but just that life.
It's a matter of time before they come.
And you think nobody watching you? Somebody's watching you. It always gonna be that one user. If you don't serve them, they're gonna get you, or they get caught, and you don't know they got caught. They gonna, when they're under pressure, they gonna do what they gotta do. They gonna tell it. If they not strong, they gonna like telling that person to get themselves out.
Yeah. And now, you know, with technology, the phones, they got drones.
Yeah.
That watches. I mean, it's at this point, it ain't even worth it.
No, it's not worth it. And like I said, don't sell for nobody else. Me, I sold for myself, then I stopped. Then I just did somebody else a favor, one of my family members a favor. That's who I did this time for.
Wow.
I didn't do time for me. I did time for somebody else because I wouldn't give them up. Yeah, I laid down for a family member.
So, wow.
And the whole time, doing my whole bid, I'm looking for that family member to reach out to me. And that was the sad part, the hurting part about it. But when I came out, I like, you know, I was going to just like sit down and talk like, why? But when I see this family member, I look at him, I like, I love you.
Yeah.
Nothing I could do now, I did it.
Yeah.
It's over with. I did that time.
I think sometimes too, they hear that, you know, let people know that a lot of times, you know, even you got a family member, but even some people, they got a best friend or something like that. A lot of times that's the biggest lesson to take away, because sometimes they don't even be there when things go bad or go left. You there holding the weight by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By myself.
But another thing, you had God with you though, so.
Yes. Yes.
Because you got out early.
Yes.
But I won't say you got out when you're supposed to. You got out when you're supposed to get out.
Yeah.
My expect.
Yeah.
Because you know, sometimes I think, you know, state give way too much time.
Yeah.
for drug offenders, you know what I'm saying? Like we, I would say, commit the ultimate, you know, and but I guess that's just how the laws go. You know, you can't change them, but so much. You can't do but so much with that.
And it's like,
you know,
drug dealers get more time than murders. I see child molesters coming in. They stay like 30 days, 90 days.
Yeah.
You got some murders in there, they got a release date. But you give drug dealers 75, 60 years or 25 years. 25, life is life in the state of Virginia. Like South Carolina, 20 years could be life and you're out. But Virginia, life is life. If you got life is life. You're going to stay there. Yeah. You're going to die in there. That's your life. Life is life.
Well, it's because, you know, a CEO he had talked about, Robert Smith, he said most drug dealers can run a Fortune 500 company. We just got to redirect where we put our energy at. Because he's saying if you can run an operation, a Fortune 500 company, will just be so much easier. Because all the stuff that you're doing in that is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you got logistics. When you were talking about earlier, moving things from one place to another, that's logistics. That's in transportation.
Yeah.
So, you know, defense, you got to worry about the security.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? People who got companies, they got to worry about the security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The money, that's the accountant, the bookkeeping. They got to do that. They got accountants and company. You get what I'm saying? So all the stuff that we learn, or anybody in the streets, they learn from the streets. They really can run a Fortune 500 company. So these lawmakers ain't stupid. They're giving us this time because they really know we really put our effort towards that. We can change the whole scape of thing because, you know, imagine if everybody, if that wasn't even a thing, you know, then all these people who go-getters would have been doing something else. Imagine if drugs wasn't even a thing. And everybody would just been focusing on businesses.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people would be real wealthy.
Yes.
Because they would have had another way where they could have go.
Put the time and effort in that.
Yeah.
Instead of the streets.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of the old heads like me, we've learned.
Yeah.
And we know which direction to go now.
Yeah.
And we try to tell these young kids to go in that direction. Like, I was like, all that money we had, we're supposed to have a business right now. Our own business, some type of something going on, all that money we had. Like, land somewhere, buy land, rent the land, our houses and remodels. It was like, we live that fast life and just threw all that money away. And as I sit back and think, I done ran through some money. I'm supposed to have something right now and something saved up. My dad always say, keep money for a rainy day, which I did have some saved up, but I let my kids have that while I was going. But I supposed to, me and my operation, we supposed to have a business going on, a legit business, a clothing store, some type of business. Like I always say, I wanted a daycare, I wanted a laundromat. I should have did that when I had that money, invested in that when I had all that money.
Oh, well, I can say this though, as long as we're breathing, it ain't never too late.
Never too late. I'm going to get it.
Right.
When I came home, I tell my kids, I say, before I leave this world, I'm going to be a millionaire the right way this time. And I'm going to open up me a daycare. I want a weekend daycare, and I'm going to open up me a laundromat. I'm telling you, give me like 3 more. That's my goal, 3 more years. If God let me live, I'm going to have one of those.
A weekend daycare is smart. You better go ahead and lock that in. You better lock that in right now.
The weekend daycare.
Yeah, you better lock that in because, we don't have that out here. So, You'll be the first, because a lot of people be wanting to do things on the weekend, but they can't because of
they don't got no babysitter.
They got no babysitter.
I like drop them off Friday 6:00 p.m. pick them up Sunday 6:00 p.m.
Yeah.
That's why I really want to do it, and I'm really gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And like my homeboy, he was in Virginia. He from North Carolina. He got locked up. I call him my brother, but he really my homeboy best friend. So he came home and he opened up an organization in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
I forgot the name of it, but he doing real good. So he like gonna help me out, like the funds I need, and stuff like that.
Getting funds from even from government funding.
Yeah.
And trust, man, everything is possible out here. A lot of times we just don't have the know-how, but the networking, and all of the people who start networking together can show us things. You know what I'm saying? So I think, man, we just got to keep going.
I am.
And and just study it the same way we study something else. You know what I'm saying? We just study, put like I said, the energy toward that. Because I think that it's out here for us to get.
It is.
What I'm saying? So many different ways. So many different other ways.
Yes.
Than that way. So I think that's the biggest takeaway. I guess you would say biggest takeaway is pretty much not being in the streets at all.
Not selling drugs, not selling nothing, not robbing, don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. Any little slip and fall, you gone.
Yeah.
And that's what they waiting on. It's time to stop. Stop our black people, our young kids, it's time to stop. Just get out the streets. Get out the streets. And I'll walk around here, I'll be like, see a bunch of young kids that like, y'all don't want to go to that penitentiary.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to go to school. Get back in school. Get out the streets. Like, get a job. It's not hard. Like, I don't care. Go to Burger King, McDonald's, please.
Yeah.
And that's why my kids tell me at this day, they're like, Mom, we thought you was being mean, but thank you for being so hard on us, and you took care of us from the penitentiary. You made sure, and you stayed on us like, y'all did your homework. Y'all went to school today. Y'all went to school. Y'all did this. Y'all did that. They're like, you stayed on, and I'm so proud of them. Some kids, it takes effect on them. Like, my mom gone, my dad gone. Like, what I'm supposed to do? But they never gave up. They didn't give up. They went to college. My son, he owned his little own trucking business. My baby girl that was right now, she just graduated from dental school.
That's good.
She a dental assistant. My oldest daughter, she got her own place, her kids, and she worked. And my baby boy, he do construction work.
That's good. Yeah.
Like, they did good. I say, learn from me. Please don't get in the streets. Please, don't smoke no weed. Don't do nothing. Just like, please stay out them streets. I said, because smoking weed might lead to other stuff. Please don't do that.
You're right.
Yes. You want to drink, but don't even drink like that. Just like continue growing. I be telling my nieces, my nephews that. I'm like, please, anybody, little kids I see, I'm like, please, y'all finish school, go to college. You don't want to go to jail. Not jail, prison.
Yeah, prison.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the big house. The big house.
Okay. So, I think that's good. I know we got some other stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna.
Yeah, because there's some more stuff that I didn't put in that I need to put in there.
Yeah.
Like some other crazy stuff that happened that I escaped from.
Wow,
but I could have went. It's just, I can tell that part later.
Yeah, we have another part.
Selling drugs is big, but this part was bigger. I could have been in the federal penitentiary like really doing 25 years.
Okay.
Just for conspiracy.
Wow. Yeah. So we'll definitely bring it back. You could talk about that, So right now we, it's Cut from a Different Cloth podcast. Shout out to Miss Boss Lady.
Thank you.
And we see y'all again, and we out.